like to ask you about energy security, and it's something we're talking more and more about nowadays, especially with the current situation in Europe at the moment. Is this a real opportunity for a company like yours to play a big part in this industry?
Well, globally, no, because there's so our company enjoys a specific moat, and the moat is that it's currently practically impossible to import LNG into South Africa for two reasons. The legislative regime doesn't allow for it, or at least if it does allow for it, the legislative regime doesn't allow you to take it off the ship and keep it in cryogenic form. To change the legislation to allow you to offload LNG and keep it in cryogenic form would take many years to change. And so the only way that you can import LNG into South Africa means that you would then have to put it through the pipeline, because reliquefaction is not an option. And the only pipeline in South Africa services Johannesburg, which means that your other major cities like Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Durban, Port Elizabeth, Pretoria are all unserviced. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is that the ports in South Africa lack the infrastructure and aren't deep enough to be able to land a vessel, which means that you're going to have to go through various environmental approval processes in order to be able to dredge the ports and put the infrastructure there. And I think in the current climate, it's unlikely that you'll get those environmental permissions through. And so it's very unlikely that South Africa is going to be importing any meaningful amount of LNG anytime soon. So that moat that basically makes us a captive player of LNG in South Africa is also the moat that prevents us from becoming an international player on the LNG front. So there's a double-edged sword to that. We will become a formidable LNG player in the South African market, and in time, who knows, maybe we overcome the challenges so that there's a two-way flow of LNG into and out of the country. But yeah, we're a business, and we can't make long-term projections based on an answer to a question of how long is a piece of string.